Welcome in, everybody. It is a Thursday edition of the YSN Power Hour, and there's two things that happen when it rains here on the Power Hour. Number one, games get canceled, and number two, we get a full house here on YSN. Welcome in, everybody. DJ Oakley here. Quinn Pushkar in the middle. We got Coach on the right side. Jamie Thompson, the Hubbard hunk, joins us once again. EB down below, holding up the middle, and we got Coach Munson over on the far right side at the bottom. Gentlemen, how are we today?
Not as good looking as the Hubbard hunk.
Hubbard hunk?
Hey, man. Just got the haircut today. I had it at 2 o'clock. Had to rush home from Howland.
Me too, but I didn't turn out like you, bud. So.
Oh, man. I mean, our again, the female ratings on our demographics just went through the roof. Carrie Munson is fumbling over her phone trying to get the power out right now because Jamie Thompson is aboard. So
she's driving, so.
Well, that doesn't count her out. Hopefully she can keep her eyes on the road and not on
Gonna
Jamie.
have to
That's
pull
all I'm going to
over.
say. It has been an interesting day, to say the least. We're going to get to our national topic and or national day, and then we're going to talk about the crazy day that has been here at YSN, and we're going to let Paul tell us about it because he's the one that controls the schedules. But first, we go to, oh gosh, see, this is what I'm talking about, Jamie. Look.
I'm Mommy Oakley.
Unbelievable. All right, it's National Egg Day. So, just like one of the worst pickup lines in the world, how do you take your eggs? Quinn, go ahead.
Scrambled. That's about it. Plain and simple, scrambled.
I expect none the less from you. Coach?
Yeah, I'm a big Eggs Benedict guy, and I just learned how to make them, so now I'm doing it constantly. Big fan.
I mean, that sounds like it's a lot of prep
It is.
for eggs.
It is. You know, we're talking unsalted butter and lemon juice and just everything.
Too much work. It's too much work. Jamie, go ahead.
I actually don't like eggs. The only time I'll eat them is when I don't know what's in certain stuff, or I guess chicken fried rice off the top of my head. But yeah, I hate eggs.
Here's a guy that likes his eggs with bacon, Mr. Burbank, and you got to believe it's the G. Burbank Farm bacon. That is, listen, and this is no even plug. Once you have the G. Burbank Farms bacon, you'll never go back. Never go back. It's unbelievable.
That's
It's not as salty as regular bacon, like store-bought bacon. It's incredible. So definitely try it. EB.
I like mine with some G. Burbick bacon, and it's dippy eggs. Not over easy, not sunny side up, dippy eggs.
Yes, dippy eggs. Paul.
Normally, I'm all about the scrambled eggs, but I like the dippy eggs when you can get a good piece of toast and some hash browns and dip it around in that stuff and then just mix it all up and eat it.
Dippy eggs are my favorite. A little bit of ketchup, salt, pepper, and toast. Swirl it around and eat all the yolk right off of the old plate, the Fiesta-ware plate. How about this one? My mom says she likes her eggs mixed with flour, sugar, butter, and covered with frosting. So my mom likes cake.
Listen, there are two very handsome gentlemen in her profile picture.
You're damn right. One is very tiny. One is extremely short, standing up next to the behemoth that is Coach Seidel. My goodness. Man, that kid should have eaten eaten less and probably drank more milk when he was younger. It's been a crazy day here. Oh, by the way, dippy eggs all the way. Dippy eggs. Jamie, I'm disappointed you didn't. I mean, you don't eat eggs. Every kid out there that wants that chiseled, Conan the Barbarian physique now is not going to eat any eggs.
I know. I've tried them a couple times. I had on a couple of weeks ago, and I just still can't get behind it. I don't know what it is.
Incredible.
Listen, Jamie in his cowboy gear should be eating eggs ranchero or something.
That's going to be an
some
action
cowboy
figure.
beans too.
Well, we're gonna make it a calendar, the Jamie calendar of YSN. Every month is a different shtick, and we'll do it this week or this year in football. So
Talk about making a crap load of money.
Oh my gosh! You want to talk about? Forget the bake sale. Just sell Jamie Thompson calendars. You're good.
Our number one buyer, Carrie Munson. Paul's gonna see calendars everywhere.
I'll take 800,
The house will
and
be
I'll take the
wallpapered.
pictures.
Between her and Jamie's girlfriend, they'll be buying them all up.
Yeah,
There'll
sold
be some
out.
going to Florida, I think, too.
Mama Yoke just sent me her PayPal.
Damn right.
Today has been a weird day, guys. Obviously, we were expecting rain. We got rain, and we got some cancellations to go with it. All the games from a regional semifinal baseball standpoint, got moved to tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel. The softball game, unbelievably, got moved as well, which is really weird because, Paul, we're going to lean on you for this one because I just found out South Range graduates on Saturday at 10 a.m., from what I'm being told. Their softball game is moved from Friday at 10 a.m. to Saturday at 12:30. Help me understand this one.
So with all the games today being canceled, which there were other girls' games being played today. The other divisions were actually playing at Firestone. So when they canceled all of today's games at Firestone, they pushed them to tomorrow, which then domino affected tomorrow's games being pushed to Saturday. And the two semifinal games in Division 3 were going to be 10 and 12:30. Well, phone calls had to be made, things had to be adjusted, and they had to say, we need to figure this out because we moved our graduation to 10 o'clock in the morning from 2 o'clock in the afternoon because there potentially could be a boys' baseball game in 2 in the afternoon. So they moved it to 10. And then when this all happened with the girls, they're like, wait a second, can we just flip-flop those games? So instead of them being the early game on Saturday, they flipped it to them being now the late game on Saturday. And they just moved some things around. And it's going to be a crazy day here when both teams have to play on the same day. So it'll be quite interesting. So, I know, we've talked internally. There's a lot of coaches around here that said, listen, they remember, something like this happening at their place when they were at a different school. And they said, literally, guys had their caps and gowns in the dugout, were introduced by the PA announcer, walked out onto the field, were given their diploma, went back in the field and got ready and played a baseball game. Do I put that past happening for the girls? I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, if the girls, I don't think they can be at graduation. I know it's only at Akron, but if you're graduating at 10 and your game's at 12:30,
there's no way.
That's just, you're not there. You're not there being prepared. All of us being coaches on here, that there's routines that kids go through and they have to get ready to go. And you just can't sit there and say, hey, you're the first one across the board at 10 o'clock, 10:15, you're done. Hop in your car and drive now to Akron, and hopefully you're ready for your game by 12:30. I don't think it's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but a lot of times graduation, especially a high school graduation, is a lot of times more for your parents than it is for the kid. If you ask a kid, would you rather try to go play for a state championship or get your diploma? I think the answer is going to be pretty easy for those kids. So,
I don't think it's that easy, right? I don't think here's the question. Let's put it this way. This is in no way representation of how YSN feels, but if you're in this situation, are you going to attend your graduation or are you going to attend your state semifinal game, in this case, for a team that you've dedicated all year and maybe all 4 years of your career to at your high school? Paul, take it away.
Hands down. Some of the athletes here have been asked that question and they've made that decision. They're going to be at the game, because the boys are going to play Friday. We play tomorrow at 5 o'clock, which is where our game got moved to. The regional championship game is Saturday. It'll be at 2 o'clock. So, potentially the 5 boys that are on the team are going to walk at like 10 o'clock and then immediately go catch a bus by 11 to be in Massillon. So,
well, the plot thickens a little bit because check this out. You have Jillian Strakansky, right? Yeah, Jillian Strakansky is a valedictorian.
Uh-huh.
And I would assume she's got something to say at graduation. What do you do then?
Record it. Think about last year.
Oh, okay.
You had kids last year who were, valedictorians too, and they just recorded their message, and as the kid just played on loop on the Jumbotron, and you go for that. So it's easy for the kid. Rick, it's not. It's not. She's worked her butt off for 4 years to be that person, but at the same time, you've worked your butt off, for this season, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, I think, for a lot of these kids. There's track kids too. There's track kids across the state that are probably running into something like this. And, those kids there, do you go to your graduation? It's in Columbus. How do you do that? How do you try to be at a graduation here, but then make your track meet or something down to Columbus? Again, making a car ride or a van ride or a bus ride down there, and then getting off the bus and trying to be prepared for that. So, I think it's it would be easy for me. I think I would.
Well, because Paul, you're nowhere near the top. For my kids,
in the future for my kids, if they do it, it wouldn't break my heart if they say, listen, I'm going to go play in this sport instead of going to my graduation. That would be fine. So
I'm with Rick. I don't think it's an easy decision. I think it's a decision that you've got to dig deep for. And look, Jilly's playing at the next level too. She's going to play at what? Is it Muskingum?
I think so, yeah.
So you look at that and you go, okay, well, her softball career continues. Does she? Is she ever going to be valedictorian again? And again, with all due respect to your solution of recording it, it's not the same. Marietta, thank you very much. I knew it was one of those M's. You look at one of those, the situation, Paul, and you'll never have the chance to stand in front of the people you've spent the last 13 years with, all of them except maybe one or two, because they're doing their thing. But I think this is something that if I'm in that situation, I think 2 seniors on the team. Correct?
2 on the softball, 5 on the baseball, and a track.
Baseball is a little easier situation.
Yeah,
it is. Let's put that.
The way that it's scheduled right now, it kind of works a little easier.
Softball.
We had to have that move too, though. It was supposed to be a noon game.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different than having to go to your graduation ceremony in your cleats. You know what I mean? It's way different than that, because that's essentially what they'd have to do. They'd be changing in the car, getting out of the car, and they'd be playing as soon as they got on the field. No stretching, no warming up, no anything like that. It would be literally they jump out of the car and they're playing softball, which these 2 I would assume are used to because they're travel ball players, and that's what travel ball players do. But at a game with so much on the line, so much at stake, do you really want to do that? Let's talk, Jamie. What do you think? You're in this situation. You got to choose between essentially one or the other. Which one are you choosing and why?
We were almost in the same situation my senior year for baseball before we got bounced from the playoffs. Our district semifinal was supposed to be on the day of baccalaureate. And then if we would have won that, we would have played in the district final, which was the day of graduation. And I can tell you that every one of our seniors, we were kind of like, yeah, I think we know what we're doing. We want to go play this game, because it was going to be, graduation's at whatever, 5, 6, game is at 5 or 6. We wouldn't have time to go from one to the other. And we were all set on playing, and it's not an easy decision to be made, but I was vice president. I had to read off half the names. One of my teammates was a valedictorian himself. We had 9, but he was the one supposed to give the speech. So, as tough as a decision it is obviously to make, it was easy for me because, I know it's such a big moment. This is something you're never getting back. Granted, yeah, you're not getting your graduation back either, but hey, you can still graduate from college. It's not your last graduation if you're going.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
EB.
Get a master's, get a doctorate.
I think it would be awesome
as many times you want
if they showed up to graduation with the eye black on and whatnot, but that's just kind of me. You're between a rock and a hard place, though. First of all, kudos to these kids who are the valedictorians, because that's just as much hard work throughout a lifetime of school as making a state playoff or actually state championship game. But if it was me personally, naturally I'm always going to choose sports. Like you said, it's kind of my opinion. The graduation, the high school graduation, it's more so for the parents. Even though, if you're a valedictorian, it probably falls a little bit different. I was obviously never in that boat. But you also kind of get your graduation party to go with that. And to sit there and the state championship makes a whole community proud. Graduating high school generally makes just a family proud. So you take it how you want to.
Coach, your thoughts?
So when I first heard about this, my initial reaction was shame on somebody. And then I got to thinking about it a little bit more. And I mean, it's not the school's fault that they've got graduation already scheduled. Those are things that they take planning, and you've got families that are coming from out of state or, all over the place for these kind of events that are planned way, way in advance. And then I got to thinking about it a little bit more, and I thought, and I know I'm always the guy that picks on the OHSAA, but kind of shame on the OHSAA in this case, because listen, you're already playing games when school's out. What would be the harm in moving these to, Sunday, Monday, or making some sort of a change, or being flexible so that these kids can do both things? And I think there's got to be an answer, and I think it's on the OHSAA to come up with that answer.
Well, that was also why the other day the South Range Ursuline game got moved as far back as it did. They couldn't play that game on Sunday, but Ursuline had their graduation, and they said they didn't want to mess with that, and they said we need to push this game to another day because they tried different times, and then they said, well, if we put it at like 4 o'clock, you could be running into kids' parties. If we have it at 10 o'clock, then they can't get to the graduation in time. So they moved it to a completely, which ended up on Monday. So
on the topic of parties, listen, that's not part of the conversation at all for me, because it's tough luck, okay? But with the graduation, the actual graduation, like that's something that's set in stone, and you have to take into account the entire student population, not just the athletes.
Listen, here's the stark truth in reality of graduation parties these days. They're not the same as when we had them. They're not gather around a bonfire and celebrate. I talked to one parent that put a $2,000 down payment on their graduation party, and they said it would easily cost them double digits. They're
$8,000 to $10,000 right now.
So you look at that and you go, and while I stand on the same side as you, Matt, where it shouldn't be a conversation, parents have something else to say, because when they're dropping 10 G's on a graduation party, which I think is ridiculous in the first place, but it is what it is.
I agree with you, and money's got to be a part of it. But if you're a parent of a student athlete and you think there's even an outside chance that your kid could make it to the state finals, why are you planning a graduation party around the day of a state final game? I know plenty of kids that decided that were athletes that decided to have their graduation parties in late June or early July because, hey, there's a chance we could be there.
I'm just going to point out that I can't remember anything about my graduation other than the walk-in and the walk-out. And it wasn't because I never had my first drink until I was almost 21, but never in high school. It was nothing like that. But I remember my last baseball game. I remember my last at bat, things like that. Not to say that that's what everybody's going to remember, but there are certain moments where you hit. Like, I was expected to graduate. It was never like, if I graduate, it's a celebration. I was expected. Like, you graduate, or guess what? You're out. Like, see you later. It's a situation where I think that, people in Jillian Strakante's position, I don't envy them at all, because it's a decision that's going to weigh on you no matter what. And her dad chiming in, which is, by the way, awesome that he's tuning in, watching us.
Yeah.
It says no question she's playing, but the question was skipping it altogether versus giving a speech and leaving at 10:15. I like it. I like the idea. If South Range is willing to let Jilly go first and deliver that speech, I would actually have her eye black on. I like that idea. I think that's cool. She let her and Bree go out, you know what I mean, together. And they can take their cap and gown off and have their jersey on underneath, and they run right into their cars, and they're out playing for, a chance to go to the state title. I think that would be unbelievable. I know I'm a dramatic guy. That's a WWE thing, but I think that would be badass.
I'll go for a live stream speech from the field in Akron.
I don't think the OHSAA would go for it.
I don't think so either, and shame on them for that.
You mean the organization all about the kids?
Yeah.
They would see this as, number one, taking away from. They wouldn't see it as an opportunity, right? They would see it as taking away from the game or drawing attention to a bad situation at first. anyway. You know what I mean? You said shame on the OHSA, and there should be. But reality is schedule conflicts happen this time of year. Always. Doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have one. And South Range, you look at it, they drew a short straw, but they also, what else are you going to do? Like, you can't have one game at 10 o'clock and then the next game at 6. The OHSA is just not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's not good business, which they don't make great decisions anyway. But that one I would sit there and go, hey guys, what the hell are we doing? But I don't know, just a thought. But I think it's going to be, hats off to Jillian for being a valedictorian. As you said, EB, I think, I'll echo that and say that's a lifetime worth of achievement wrapped up in an 18-year-old. And, that's going to go down as something special. And she's a smart cookie as it is. It wouldn't surprise me if she does it again all over again at Marietta and graduates at the top of her class. So, congratulations for South Range getting this far. The craziness ensues because now you've got JFK, who plays tomorrow at 1:30 in Strongsville. It was set up so if JFK and Matthews won today, tomorrow the game would be played at Scene Park at 2 o'clock. That is no longer a chance to happen. It's completely scrubbed. So we don't know where the game will be played. JFK wins tomorrow. We have no idea where they're going to be on Saturday. Neither do they, according to them. So you move on to the 2 o'clock game, Salem and Canfield. That game is still going to be at 2 o'clock. That game's still going to be in Glen Oak. And I think it's in Glen Oak the next day too. And I'm hearing like a little bit of conversation that it might be, it might not be, because that's all grass. There's no turf there. And there was talks today about moving all the games, at least rumors, that they were going to move all the games to just turf fields. And I heard Fitch. I heard so many different schools. Fitch would have made a lot more sense from the beginning, considering it's Salem and Canfield. Just play at Fitch. But I don't know. And then the only one that I've heard locked is Paul, you guys, playing at Maston.
Yep.
Which is, again, a grass field. So I don't get it. But it is what it is. Saturday and Sunday is going to be exciting. Or Friday, Saturday is going to be exciting. And then Saturday, Sunday from the softball perspective going to be exciting. We had it lined up until South Range had to move. Friday was going to be badass. Friday was going to be morning to night, beautiful here on YSN. Your $9.99 was going to be stretched to the max. And now you just got to do 2 days instead of 1 day. So
you get a triple header tomorrow instead of a
quadruple. But that being said, we have some awards to hand out, and one of them has to do with that game we just talked about in South Range. So let's get to that right now. Let me see if I can pull it up. And, of course, I need to get my script here so that way I don't mess anything up, especially from the numbers standpoint, because some of these numbers were freakishly amazing. So let's introduce you to the Softball Player of the Year, Bree Kohler. Congratulations to Bree Kohler for being the 2021 YSN Softball Player of the Year. Check out these stats, guys. And if you can argue these, good luck, because this was unbelievable for Bree. And, of course, my internet's crashing on me, so I can't read the rest of her script. But Kohler got it done at a high level this season on both sides of the diamond. Defensively, Kohler ranked among top slingers in the circle with a 17-2 record that accumulated 119.2 innings pitched and recorded one save on the year. BK will also eclipse the 200 strikeout mark this season. She sits at 199 right now. Combine that with only giving up 18 walks this campaign, and she had one hell of a year, man. 1.17 ERA with a WHIP of .752. That's defense. Offense, she had a .491 average at the dish. From that, Kohler launched 12 home runs, pushed across 62 runs batted in as well for the Lady Raiders, all while crossing the dish 54 times herself. Her on-base percentage was .504 on the campaign, while her slugging and OPS was 1.036 and 1.540 respectively. On top of all that, and this is the one I want to underline, this was the biggest one in our conversation, all of these awesome statistics, she had 125 plate appearances this year, struck out once. once. Bree Kohler, your YSN 2021 Softball Player of the Year. Paul, you know her better than anybody other than Anthony Hartwig on our panel. Talk to me about what she brings to the table and why she deserves this so much.
I mean, she's humble. She's a great kid, comes from a great family. I've known her mom. I mean, her mom was a coach when I was in school. Mom was one of the best girls basketball coaches around. She was at Springfield. And just brings hard work and dedication, to the table every single time. She's very quiet. Like, you'd never know that she's in class. She just sits there and does her work and is very just low key. But when she enters that field, she is on fire. She's got the heart of a lion and just is ready to go and will do anything she can for her teammates. And they'll do anything for her as well. So she is the definite key that makes that motor run for the South Range Lady Raiders, because without her on that team, it's a different team altogether. So it definitely, when we all talked about players of the year and how that works, I always look at a player of the year as, if you can take that player off that team, how does that affect that team? And if you take her off that team, they're not the team that they are. But put her on that team and they are lights out. So they're going to have a great time on Saturday down there in Akron, and I think she's going to show off some more and just keep adding to those stats that she has. I mean, it's impressive.
Not only that, but you add to the fact that she's sitting on 199, gets to celebrate her 200th strikeout in Akron. I mean, she had 12 against Ursuline, one of the best hitting teams in the entire state. I got to imagine she'll be able to scrap around one against this team. So congratulations on another milestone for Bree Kohler here this year. And of course, to be the player of the year, so much goes into it, on the field, off the field. She was the epitome of what we were looking for in a player of the year, especially from the softball standpoint. She had it on in the circle. I almost said on the mound. Anthony Hartwig has taught me better. She had it in the circle. She had it at the dish. She had it everywhere she went. And she plays shortstop when she's not pitching. So, she's an outstanding kid. She's an outstanding player, and exactly what we're looking for in a player of the year. So congratulations, Bree Kohler. Obviously not an easy decision with the talent. We talked about this yesterday. But for us, when you look at the overall body of work, Bree Kohler is exactly what this Player of the Year is all about. That being said, let's turn it over to the baseball side of things. And your Player of the Year is Salem's Lane Rhodes. He's been named the 2021 YSN Baseball Player of the Year. Rhodes led the Quakers on both sides of the diamond, a 26-3 record, guys. 26-3, and has Salem believing in the Quaker Nine in 2021. This is the best team since 1991. So think about that. 30 years, this is the best team to come through, and the captain is a big reason for that. Rhodes' selection is more about just numbers on a stat sheet. It's what he's done and who he's been for this team during his senior year campaign. However, make no mistake about it, the Quaker captain has been nothing short of impressive along the way with those numbers. On the bump, Rhodes has posted a 7-0 record over his opposition, which includes 55.1 innings pitched, a .88 ERA, striking out 66 batters, and posting a pair of complete game tournament victories at the time of publication. Oh, and not to mention no-hitter against his team's top rival in West Branch. Defensively, Rhodes also played third, he played first, he played shortstop. He will play wherever you put him as long as you give him a chance to compete for his team. Offensively, Big Game Lane showed up and showed off to the tune of .384 batting average with 33 hits, and nearly half of those going for extra bases. We talked about that a couple of days ago with Julia Nutter. That's an impressive stat to think about. He's had 12 doubles, 2 triples, and a dinger to speak of. Rhodes also served as the table setter in the 3-hole all season, scoring 33 times, driving in 20 runs, and stealing 11 bags along the way. Mr. Do-It-All. And again, although the stats are outstanding, it's the intensity and leadership that Lane provides that will set him apart from this season from each nominee. And, by the way, both of these players of the year, will be staying close to home and going to YSU. Not that that's important from us from a selection standpoint, but it is very cool. So congratulations to Lane Rhodes, this year's Player of the Year on your sports network. Guys, I mean, and Coach, you've seen Lane play, you've seen him pitch, you've seen the intensity. Talk to me about what you see and what you love about Lane Rhodes.
I think even beyond just his ability as a player, the thing that stands out to me every time I get a chance to see Lane compete is what an unbelievable teammate and captain of the team he is. And the way that he just picks his guys up. The one stat that you didn't get to is, and I would be interested in hearing what it is, how many times he got to put on the Quaker Sam hat at the end of the game this year. He just epitomizes the way that you want to see the game played and the kind of teammate that you want to see in a player of the year.
This is an interesting question from Amo. Do you think – whoop, don't want that. Do you think – I just lost coach too. Jeez, oh man, what's going on here? Do you think that Bree Kohler could strike herself out?
Be fun to watch.
That's an interesting comment. I like Amos thinking on this one. That's something we'll have to ask Paul when he pops back on from the abyss. We're losing everybody.
Black boxes everywhere.
Losing everybody. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have a ton to talk about still, guys. Make sure you stay tuned because we do have the G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef, What's Your Filet, brought to you by our friends over at G. Burbick Farms. Back after this.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sudman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you, along with a few of my friends. Quinn Pushkar's been quiet thus far, just kind of taking in the conversation. Quinn, what's going on with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just listening. I mean, you know how much I know about baseball and softball, so it's kind of cool hearing actual people that know what they're talking about discuss this stuff.
Well, I mean, you were on the Headed Home series, so you should know a thing or two about it. I mean, it got you out of the Power Hour for about 30 days or so. So I'm just saying. I mean, you should know a thing or two to at least contribute. So would you like to contribute anything about the what we've talked about so far?
I'm good. I know why they're player of the year. They're damn good players. So I'm good.
Dynamite drop-in money. All those years of broadcasting paying off for you.
I just watched that yesterday, DJ. Watched it yesterday.
It's one of the best lines ever, especially for a broadcaster. Here we go, guys. Here's an interesting topic, fresh off the press. On ESPN.com, it says that Cleveland is narrowing down the names for the mascot and the team name for the Cleveland baseball team. So it's out there. The Indians are no longer. They will be no more. And Cleveland will get a new mascot and name. Are there any preferences from your side? What do you want to see? And what don't you want to see? Quinn, lead us off.
What don't I want to see? The pandas and Ron Potesta's head on all the Indian uniforms. That's what I don't want to see. What I do want to see, it doesn't matter to me. It's just a name. If you're not putting a good product on the field, does it really matter?
Yes, it matters. The Rocket City Trash Pandas.
That's fine. They could be that.
which I'm offended
They're
that
not
you
being
said no
good. Who
Pandas.
cares?
I would be honored if the Cleveland team were the Trash Pandas.
Do we have enough?
Let's go to Paul. Paul, do you care about this? And what do you want to see? What don't you want to see?
This has bothered me. I've talked about it before on the show. I think it's ridiculous, this whole politically correct garbage of let's get rid of these names. You know, you can't call them the Redskins. You can't call them the Indians. It's like, whatever. I mean, it's a name. Like, honestly, everybody calls them the Tribe. What's wrong with the Tribe? The Tribe can be a many different definitions of the Tribe. So they've always been called the Tribe. Call them the Tribe. And, you know, just make the Block C their logo and be done with it.
Guardians.
Yeah.
The hell is that? What are they just going to cover up the end on their?
So there's statues on top of the terminal tower, and they're the guardians of the city. And so it's been talked about to potentially name them the Guardians and use the statue of the Guardian as the potential logo.
I mean, now it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, really. I mean, I think it's pretty easy. They're the Tribe. Everybody always calls them the Tribe. Make them a Tribe. Be done with it. Cleveland Tribe. You're good.
See, I would be, if it weren't already the WNBA, the Cleveland Rockers would have been sweet.
Yeah, but there's no more Cleveland Rockers, so
well, that's what. But because it's a WNBA thing now, like they did own it, and now you're just trying to transfer. The Rockers would have been sweet. They blew it on the WNBA team, and now they can't use it where it counts. Way to go! You should have got in the DeLorean, went to the future first, and figured out that that's the team name. Because listen, I can just because I know how cheap the Indians are, or the Cleveland Baseball Club, or whatever the hell they're calling themselves. The Guardians thing, right? I can see it where it's literally they just take the IND off the front side of their uniform and they put the GUARD, and then they got the IANS. That's it. That's what they do. Like, it'll be stupid. It's gonna be stupid whatever they do. But I really liked who said it. I think Mark Ross said it. The Cleveland Spiders.
No.
Bring it on back. Bring it on back.
Listen, I'll never be able to wear any of the gear because I hate spiders.
They're not real.
I don't care. I don't care.
And the bridge on the west side. More Guardians?
Yes.
I don't know. It just, I mean, it just strikes me as the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Which is sweet.
I'm behind. But if you're doing that, you might as well be the Trash Pandas.
Yeah, their logo is a big dumpster.
No, their logo is a raccoon, which in Guardians of the Galaxy they refer to as a trash panda, which is why they got the name Trash Pandas. Ipso facto, Paul. Little nugget of information.
Well, I think they were called Trash Pandas way before Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
well, it wasn't mainstream. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Quinn was the only trash panda around before Guardians of the Galaxy. Kate Kelly likes the Guardians. She's with Coach. So I'm Pete and Paul's Wheaties today. Not a sponsor yet, I know. Well played. Well played.
The whole like Native American thing that they're all on their high horse about, it's just ridiculous.
Oh, God, you and Scotty.
Hey, I'm not talking about what that was hilarious yesterday. I was watching it going, oh boy, where's this going? When's he gonna get the mute button? And then all of a sudden he's like, make a decision. It was like mute. I'm like, well, there we go.
Yeah, when he said bisexual, I was like, we're putting the end to this one, Scotty. I don't know where you're going with this, but it's nowhere we want to be. Jamie, thoughts on this? What do you want to see? What don't you want to see?
I mean, I'm not an Indians fan, but I always did love the name. And I was kind of sitting here thinking, what if like went with the Cleveland C's, just rocking with the straight up Block C, like got the Oakland A's. Obviously, it's short for athletics, but just make it straight up Cleveland C's. I kind of like it. Or go with the Cleveland Keys, man. Got Key Bank out there over in left field. I think it'd be sweet. I don't know. I'm not a fan of them changing the name, but if you're gonna have to go with something, maybe try and relate it to the city, like the Guardians. I don't love the name, but I like the idea.
Guardians. Like, I just don't like. What is it going to be? A gargoyle? Basically.
I sent you a picture.
Oh boy. What kind of picture?
Of the Guardian.
Okay, that's better than most of the pictures you send me. All right, EB. Like it? Dislike it? What do you want to see?
I don't know, man. Like, just pick something. Like you you can't go with rockers, which would be kind of cool because you could kind of incorporate those colorways. You know, the Gladiators you can't use because that's our arena football league. Just call it Cleveland. Just call it the land. Something. You know, I don't even know because I don't care anymore because it's talked about all the time and there's going to be, whether you come up with something new or you don't, like there's going to be so much. The nostalgia people are going to hate it and everything else. It's just.
That's stupid, Matt.
They look like Romans.
Yeah. You want to be the Cleveland Romans? Go ahead. And then you guys can be sponsored by an erectile dysfunction pill.
I'm shocked Coach wasn't like, we need to call them the Trojans, the Cleveland Trojans.
Listen, that would be dope. I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea of that, like a warrior. The Guardians. What are you guarding?
They're the guardians of the city.
And they did a shitty job.
Damn lake caught on fire.
That's what I'm saying.
They've been there since the 20s.
Well, then nothing should have happened since the 20s. They've seen the last baseball championship, for crying out loud. Griminy. My goodness. All right. What about the Cleveland Construction Bear? Listen, I don't mind it.
The state flower.
That's right.
I don't mind it at all. I think that would be neat. Because, listen, when construction happens anywhere in the country, they use those barrels, and what do you think of? That
you
team.
would think of the team.
It's branded. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, Pager. That's the smartest thing you've ever said on this show. Pitch it.
Listen, I think that they should just let the guys at GV Artwork come up with it because they do amazing stuff for all the Cleveland sports teams. So just let them do it.
They're going to be like the hot dogs or something. I mean, that's like, it's going to be
right.
The fighting Sugardales.
The fighting Frankfurters. Yeah, that's exactly what they'll be. That one looks like a sausage. We're the Frankfurters. Kate Kelly says they're literally calling them by the color of their skin for the Redskins. Totally get that one. This would not work in any other group of people either. That's why I think the Braves will be safe. I think the Braves, because it's a positive connotation, correct?
I think the Braves, the Chiefs, I think they're all in trouble.
No.
See, I think the Chiefs and the Braves, because Chief is a level.
They literally do the tomahawk chop in their stadiums.
Yeah, but that'll be fine until Florida State gets something for it.
Well, Florida State, they've already pinned together.
They came to a deal.
Yeah.
And,
Florida State worked themselves in a great deal, so they're fine.
You know, Kansas City sitting there like,
we got some Native Americans here.
We gotta find.
We'll pay you guys some money.
Quick, go down to the barbecue hall and find us some Native Americans. We can't figure it out.
Yeah. You want a ring? We'll get you a ring.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's like a really bad episode of Parks and Recreation is what it is. I don't know. Like, I'm all for what I don't want is for it to be the Cleveland Baseball Club. I don't like that.
Yeah. No.
You know, like there's a stigma to that I think ran out in like 1920. You know, for the New York Yankee baseball team or the New York Baseball Club. Like, you need a mascot. You need something to rally around. Obviously, everything these days is about marketing. I firmly believe that they need a strong mascot. The Guardians, to me, doesn't do it. That's just me. It's not saying that I won't buy a hat. It's not saying that I won't buy a jersey. We all know that I'm going to do that anyway. But it's one of those things where, like, you have one shot at this every 100 years. Don't screw it up.
I really like what they did on the hockey side with the Lake Erie Monsters.
See, whoever did I'll take you one further. Whoever did the Seattle Kraken, I would hire that guy. I would hire that guy to be like, what do we need? Mm-hmm. Change the colors up, even though those colors would be like Miami's colors, I think would be the closest in comparison. Because I didn't realize this. Do you know that they have to put in for, like, they can't have the same colors as other teams? Like, even the Reds are different shades. Yeah. So when the Penguins changed back to their black and gold, right, which is really yellow.
Boston, right?
No, it was because the Vegas Knights were coming in.
As black and Vegas gold.
And they wanted the black and Vegas gold colors not to be confused with Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh got the okay back to the black and gold. So it's it's really interesting from a business side for me because I'm a jersey junkie, as you guys know. You get one shot at this. Cleveland just earned a free spin at the casino. Do it right. Like, get it done. Do it right. Because if they can nail it like the Kraken did, like, I think everybody on this panel is behind the Kraken unis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love.
Listen, won't be a fan, but we'll definitely have a jersey.
Yeah. Like
Or a hat.
Because, I mean, you look at the lakes. Do something on the Great Lakes. You're right there.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about statues that the guy has.
Be the Commodore Perry's.
He's holding he's holding a truck like this. Like, what are you? You're guarding a semi truck? Okay. I mean, go back to. What's the Goodyear? I mean, you could do something with Goodyear, I guess. Make them a
Cleveland tires. Let's
the
go.
Cleveland Rubbers.
The Rubbers.
The Rubber Ducks. The Rubber Ducks was an awesome name.
Rubber Ducks was.
I don't think it's a pro name, but it's an awesome name. So I don't know what the answer is, guys. I just know that it's not necessarily the Guardians. Cleveland Rockers. Yeah, see, I can get behind that. What do we have? What am I missing? Kraken. Wow, that's so good. I want to root for that team.
I say things and Quinn loses it.
The Rubbers, yeah.
Oh, Quinn's.
It's just so stupid. I could see it. I could see Cleveland doing that. It's just so dumb.
Dude, could you imagine the giveaways? It'd be awesome. College ID night. Let's go.
It would be Sausage Fest in Cleveland.
That's right. Not a lot of births in Cleveland lately. We don't know why.
Get your dollar dog and your rubber.
God. That is going to take us right into our G. Berwick Farms. What's your beef? What is your filet? Talk about transition, guys. We rode right into that one.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Before we do, want to thank our sponsors again once more: iSynergy, WRS Wealth Advisors, K Square Marketing, Myers Family Insurance, Berlin Lake Golf Club, and Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. EB, what do you got for a beef? Brought to you by G. Berwick Farms.
My beef is the price to rent a car right now is astronomical and stupid. Like I think it's like $150 a day, which is it's kind of raining on my parade, pun intended, I guess, for when I go down to Myrtle here in a couple weeks.
What are you trying to rent at $150 a day?
Literally,
dude, really? It's anything. It's actually cheaper to rent like an SUV than it is like a mid-sized car
because you got to fill it up.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I didn't know that. I know there's a shortage on everything. Kids' cleats. No idea why. There's not a baby boom, but we've got a shortage on kids' cleats. Jamie, beef, filet.
My beef is I got an email from the place I'm going to in Florida, and next week there is a beach renourishment project beginning June 6th, and it's running until June 30th.
No.
They say everything's going to be operational, but I swear to God, if this messes with my expensive trip, I'm going to blow a cork down there, and I'm going to end up winning a free week because someone's going to get their head ripped off. That's all I'm saying. But also, I want to give a quick shout-out filet here. I got a state track meet this week. I got a Gerard shirt. I felt very dirty when I put this thing on. My girlfriend's brother, he's running in the 800-meter final, so shout-out to him. Hope he brings home the dub. But, yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Gerard red on me.
The Hubbard hunk is mad.
Yeah, the Hubbard hunk. He is.
The Hubbard hunk with the Hubbard Hulk.
But I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you could almost hear the pen scratching when he named the days that he's going to be at the beach from the women all across YSN.
They'll be checking his Facebook for those shirtless photos.
What's Jamie's Instagram? Coach, what do you have?
Yeah, I got a beef today, and my beef is people that like try and not let you have an opinion on social media. You know, I enjoy going on and arguing different points on sports or whatever it might be, but people that just act like you're not allowed to have your own opinion on things, you know, they just really piss me off. So those are my beef today.
Jamie, I'm just going to put this out there right now. I will never call you dad. I will never call you dad. Paul, you're up.
I'm just going to go with the old typical one. It's the weather today. I mean, this just really threw a wrench in a whole lot of things by the domino effect that it did. So, you know, my beef is with this, with the weather today, that it just canceled everything and pushed everything back a day or two, and it's just it's caused some chaos. So, but that's normally what bad weather does to you. It causes chaos.
You have been pouty Paul today.
Yeah, it's
a
just
little
not
bit.
fun.
That email you sent to me, and like, you're just pouty today. Are you all right? You gonna make it through?
I'm good. Yeah, we got practice in about 10 minutes, so I'll take it out on them.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
What are you gonna do? Make the JVs run?
No, it's only the varsity
I
guys.
hope they sabotage your bucket.
He's gonna throw the bucket.
Yeah, they might do some running.
They have to listen to you?
Oh yeah, I'm a coach. You gotta listen
I
to
would
all
be
your
like,
coaches.
get the hell out of here, buddy.
Yeah, no,
Go get me a bag of Doritos.
It was great. I umpired a scrimmage with them the other day, and boy, they had to be on their P's and Q's because I was like, "Go ahead, and screw with me. That's a strike. We'll see how that works out for you." So
I see Paul ejecting people in a scrimmage.
Do you realize when you said that who you sounded just like?
Poe.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was verbatim what Poe said.
I like it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're going to have an episode of Maury Povich where we have a paternity test.
Oh no, trust me.
Your heads are the same size. You have the same profession in umpiring. You're equally as bad, I'm assuming.
No, I was actually pretty good. The kids actually said I had a good strike zone, so they weren't mad at me.
Did you ever tell the kids that you were, because it was cold out, that you were going to stretch the strike zone?
No.
Would you ever?
I actually had the other coach ask me, he goes, "Can you make the strike zone a little bigger?" And he goes, "Because my guys need to get used to this for their tournament game." I'm like, sure, if you want me to. I was like, thought I had a pretty good strike zone. So
unbelievable.
He actually asked for a little bit wider strike zone to get his guys used to it. So it was
they have a wider strike zone at the next level?
So I didn't think so. I thought all tournament games it gets a little tighter, but he didn't want his guys looking at strike threes on the outside corner. So, I even gave guys some warnings for their jewelry too. So they were really happy.
In a scrimmage, you gave them a warning for your jewelry?
Because I told the coach, I was like, in your regional game, I was like, they're not going to give you a warning. They're actually going to throw a kid out. So he's like, I appreciate it. So, hey, scrimmages are getting ready for your tournament game. So all aspects of it.
You were dressed to the nines, weren't you? You were the guy in like the jacket and the bow tie with.
No jacket. It was like
with the foam right here.
Yeah,
like the old school.
Strike three.
It's the big mat.
This is the ball. See, wide. See, outside. See, man.
Yeah. No, I was a little more like Leslie Nielsen. I was.
Please never do that
again. This sound is gonna haunt me forever.
I had the little dustbuster out there doing the plate and everything, getting it clean.
Oh my gosh, we're losing viewers like flies. Quinn, what's your beef? What's your fillet, brother?
I don't know if it's a beef. I don't know if it's a fillet, but it's straight to Billy Mack. He says he knows everything, but he doesn't. He can't change a battery in his car. He can't clean his garage. It's unbelievable. I'm better.
Can't put a grill together.
No, he can't put grills together. He don't know anything outside of baseball and softball. Unbelievable.
Listen, does he not know, or is he outsmarted the system and gotten you to do everything for him?
No, he has no idea.
No idea.
No idea. I asked him, "Do you have a wrench?" And he had no clue what that was.
Quinn, I don't know how to clean my side of the room. Can you come over and figure it out for me? Because I'm just having the toughest time.
No. I can tell you. Pick it up.
Yeah, but if I had ginger beard, you'd be all over it.
Nah.
And really angry.
About lunch. Can't complain.
Well, the garage is my dad's fault, and we won't blame TK for things. Well, there you go. So it's legit. So,
yeah. I asked him if he had tools too. He goes, "No, Kate's dad's got all the tools." And I'm like,
he doesn't know what tools are.
He doesn't know what tools are? Is that what you said?
No. He has no idea.
What all did you have to do for his battery? Just jump it?
Change it. Change the battery.
You changed the entire battery out?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he complain the entire day yesterday about the battery?
Yep.
Yes. That's why Quinn went and changed it.
Yeah.
He has no clue how to do it.
Gotcha.
You unscrew it and you pull it out. It's not hard.
It's like 2 screws.
Pretty much.
I'm going to go with, let's see what these comments are real quick here. Kate jumping in. We have tools. Will I have tools?
Are they pink?
Uh-oh.
It sounds
Does that
like
sound
Sarah.
like the Oakley house?
It sounds like Sarah a lot. And I have a large tool named Billy. That doesn't sound like the Oakley house. Kate jumped the battery Monday for him. Billy, come on, man.
I'm telling you, he's dumb. He's straight dumb.
He's dumb.
You wouldn't say that with him on the show.
Absolutely. I'll tell him to his face.
Oh, yeah, I think you would.
Oh, my God.
100%. And I know he's watching this, so if he hops on, Billy, you're dumb.
Well, one of us has to let him on.
Yeah, I'm not going to let that happen.
He complained yesterday about people hopping on it, or 2 days ago, for people hopping on 15 minutes late and 30 minutes late. So, no, we don't play both sides of our mouth. My complaint is a little bit to the weather, but kind of two beefs here. Number one, the first game for T-Ball Night in America canceled. Canceled today. Frustrated. I've got parents that are angry, which I get it. The girls are angry. At my house, I think they'll probably forget it by the time I get home. But I've got one person that had to cancel the game next week for vacation, which it happens, right? You don't schedule yourself around T-ball. If you have a chance to go on vacation, you go. However, it was presented to me because I couldn't do the day that they wanted to make this game up, that we forfeit the game. And I just went irate. It's T-ball.
Games that are nothing ties at the end of the day.
I don't understand it. I sat there and read it 5 times if I read it once. And I sat there and I was like, she wants me to forfeit this game? Then I got mad. I promised myself I would not turn into competitive DJ during T-ball. We're not even a game in yet, and it took that to be like, all right, well, I'm going to score 50 on you. No mercy. 3 innings. No mercy. No, but honestly, it sucks, Paul. I'm with you with the weather. You look forward to these games, and then, you kind of got to temper yourself. The other part is we got copyright claims from YouTube the other day for this show. And one of them was for our intro song by the Vindies, which we have completely correct rights for and the papers to prove it and a license for. The other one was for the Walls of Jericho, which kind of gets me because it's technically yes, but it's not 25 seconds long. Usually it needs to be 29 seconds long to be considered stealing. But that being said, I think we found something to at least end the show with from now on. We're working on the Walls of Jericho thing, but we found something to end the show with from now on that I think people are gonna like. So let's get to that. That'll wrap up our show for this Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow from 3 to 4 right here on YSN.
And we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together, making sparks ignite. And the thought of loving you is getting so exciting. Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. Whoop.
You guys have it, I think.